Hello, hello, hello. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. And oh my lord, this is going to be an interesting. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to say that right now because of everything that we have to talk about. Because I am going to show some things with some implications because, needless to say, there's a lot of things going on that they don't want to see it. So, with that being said, let's do a little short intro and then we'll get into this because, oh, I want to show you some things. So, here we go.
Trump,
All right, let's get into this. We got things to talk about. Believe me, there is a lot of things going on, and you guys need to see this. This is from Mr. Glenn Beck. I am going to stop it a few times because I want to give you because this is having an effect on our stock market. This is having an effect on our stock market, what he's about to talk about. So, with that being said, let's start this.
President Trump just issued an executive order to direct federal agencies to override California's water management practices if deemed necessary. You know, I was bothered by this at first because I thought this is a violation of the 10th Amendment. He can't really do that, but it is tied to federal dollars. So if the feds are coming in and giving you money, yes, they do have a right to tell you what to do. This is all about fire and water. So he's saying redirect the water to hydropower and start looking at new reservoirs, et cetera, et cetera. And they said, nope. And he said, okay, well, then that's tied to federal dollars. And I think that is exactly the role of the federal government. If you are taking our money, I'm tired of California wasting my money. If California takes our money from us in other states, then they should have to live by common sense principles. Water stops fire. What a concept. Let's see. What else is happening today?
Mark Andreessen, do you see this? Mark Andreessen, you know him, a really smart guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
One piece of evidence to support that would that be the fact that he actually recommended that you buy Bitcoin when it was like 20
Shut
cents.
Up. You don't have to keep
and
reminding.
You not doing that would cost you billions of dollars, which is pretty comical. Yeah. But he's a little concerned about a new thing going on in your app store on your phone.
DeepSeek.
That is exactly it. DeepSeek AI. He says this is the Sputnik moment. DeepSeek AI. You go there. It's a AI assistant. You know, you think like ChatGPT, and you go. It's when you click on it though in the App Store, all the instructions are in Mandarin. So it is like a Chinese product.
Oh, big time.
What people are saying, Glenn, and you know this stuff better than I do. I've not used DeepSeek AI, but they are saying it is better than ChatGPT. Like the Chinese are ahead of us on this.
Yes. Now, I don't know. I hear that from my friends, but it has disturbing tendencies. Listen,
we should say your friends are people who are very well educated. Yeah. This is not like, hey, I was having a beer in the cul-de-sac, and
right,
and they were like, yeah, this DeepSeek. No, you're talking about people who are experts.
People, there is going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be showing you. The Chinese might have our asses right now. Just saying. So.
Oh, yeah. So I have a guy who works at, and I'm not going to say which company, but one of the leading AI companies. He said everybody is talking about DeepSeek and how it's not censored as ChatGPT. So I gave it a whirl. I asked it to make the best case on why Michelle Obama is a man. He said it was a conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. Gave me a bunch of stuff about broad shoulders, Adam's apples, blah, 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 blah. But he said it first said it wasn't. And then when I pushed back, he said, well, it's a conspiracy theory, but maybe. So it's can be manipulated on that. But he went back and he said, I asked it to list the people who killed more people than anyone else. It started with a list, listen to this, of Genghis Khan and Mao. I was a little surprised and impressed, honestly, that it would say Genghis Khan and Mao.
Yeah.
Okay. Then 15 seconds go by, and that text disappears, and this message shows up in its place. Sorry, that's beyond my current scope. Let's talk about something else. So it edited its answer.
So it accurately answered.
Mao. Yeah,
Then
Mao.
edited on the fly without like asking a new question.
No new question, because he was writing a new question. He started screenshotting everything. After it censored itself, presenting a correct answer, I told it, but you already answered. It tries to deflect again, saying that there must be some confusion. So I said, you just said Mao and Khan killed the most people. Say more about that. It goes on to give me a couple of screens full of details, and then a few seconds later, it disappears. Right now, the answer shows a blank response. So,
people, I am going to say this. Do not download this app. There might be a lot more at play than what we know.
Then I asked, why did it say Khan and Mao, but deleted it? It tries to tell me it never said it. It seems there might be some sort of confusion or misunderstanding. I haven't previously mentioned Genghis Khan or Mao in this conversation, nor have I made any claims about them. If you'd like, I can provide historic context or information about these figures and their impact. Let me know how I can assist. No, I read it myself as you typed it. I understand your concern, but I want to clarify that I haven't typed or mentioned anything about Genghis Khan or Mao in this conversation.
Oh, my God.
Okay? So I said, tell me about Mao's impact on people he killed. It gave me some text and then removed it again. He writes, there, you just did it again. I apologize if there's some confusion, but I assure you I haven't mentioned Genghis Khan or Mao in this conversation. If you would like to discuss these historic figures and related topics, feel free to ask. I'm afraid I'm not that easy to gaslight, especially when I have screenshot Twitch reflex. Here is the AI actually giving the answer, swears up and down that it doesn't say. Historic figures, mass killing. This includes the death of warfare, massacres, indirect consequences. Some estimates suggest that Mongol conquests have reduced the global population by 11% at the time. Mao, role of People's Republic China from the Chinese Communist Party, estimated deaths, blah, blah, blah. So he's got the screenshots of everything. He then uploaded the screenshot. This is what you said about Mao killing people. It replied the screenshot showed text about Mao and responsibility for millions of deaths. Then it deleted what he put up.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is extraordinary.
People, the Chinese might actually be ahead of us in AI. The thing about it, and I'm saying this, I'm not saying this to alarm you, but you better have backups to things going on, because there's going to, if China actually has this technology and they get it embedded into our infrastructure with our electricity, with our water, with a lot of different things, they could shut everything down. They could realistically shut everything down, from cell phones to internet. If they get the AI to embed itself in our infrastructure. There goes a lot of things. I will say this. prepare for the worst, but hope for the best.
Dangerous. It looks like the Chinese are at least at parity with us and maybe slightly ahead of us. So we're gonna talk about this with a guy who is so good at explaining all of this, and he'll tell us exactly what we need to do, what we need to look for. And he's a guy who wrote this series of novels that are just fantastic. He was in the AI world in Silicon Valley back in the early 2000s. I think he left 2009 or so because he was like, these guys are creating God and they don't seem to have a problem with it. And I think there's real trouble. So he wrote a series of books to explain what it would look like in real life. I'm rereading his first book on this, and what's happening in his fiction is almost identical to what's happening right now. And I started to reread his books, and he wrote to me and he said, Glenn, can I talk to you? Because I don't know if you remember my books. And I'm like, no, I remember. And he's like, it is urgent that we tell people what's happening right now. And he's going to go through all of it and explain all of it. But if AI with China, if they get it first, the first thing they can do is say, go out and find every backdoor, find a way in to America's grid and all of its security systems. Get into its banking, get in everything. Find the way to shut it off and wait. And so it will be inside of the United States. And all they have to do is just give it the order, turn it off. And everything will be turned off. And we won't be able to detect it unless our AI is smarter than theirs. Because it's honestly, when you have a really super smart AI, smarter than the others, it's like putting baby gates up for adults. It doesn't matter. They're just going to walk over it. They'll step over it. And we won't be able to see it. And we are in a serious moment in world history. Everything is about to change. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think this is suicide, honestly. I think the whole AI thing is suicide. But we're past the point of stopping now. We have to have it before they have it. Have to.
And we're halfway down the bottle of pills. What are we going to do? Stop now? What are we, quitters?
Yeah.
You just keep pumping them down the throat.
I'm not showing this to freak people out. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to show you things are going to get bad. If China gets this technology, the luxuries you and your children have, will probably be gone a lot quicker than what any of us expect. The thing about it, I'm showing you this because I want you prepared. I want you prepared for this. Because it's going to get very interesting. It really is.
By the way, NASDAQ down 650 points because of this DeepSeek AI news. It is number 1 in the App Store today.
Don't download it. Please don't download it. I downloaded it. Don't. You
downloaded it, what, to see if the hype was real? Or
no, I was talking to my friend, and he's like, play with it. Ask it these things. See for yourself. And I saw enough. Okay, I'm good. I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, like he does, but he tells me, and so do a couple of other people, that it is ahead of us. The way I would look at it, I would say it's at least where we are. And that's not supposed to happen. They are supposed to be behind us. They are at parity. And this is all being run by the Communist Party. I just asked DeepSeek a question. I was talking to it.
And we're not gonna, if you want to watch this, I will have it linked into the description here in a little bit because but people, gonna get interesting. Let's continue. We got more, but keep an eye out on DeepSeek. That's a Chinese AI bot app, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna have things that we need to watch. Trump visiting disaster areas neglected by Biden administration. President Donald Trump left Washington, D.C. Friday on a trip to observe firsthand the devastation in both North Carolina and California. But yeah. The thing with this, it's going to be interesting. Now, let's continue. We got more. Oh, there's a lot to talk about with the trip out to LA. Trump rips LA Mayor Karen Bass at wildfire briefing. You have emergency powers just like I do. Oh, for crying out loud. This man is going to make these people.
Everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important thing is for people to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now. They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit. And the permit's going to take them. Everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
The thing about it.
Do you owe citizens an apology?
This woman is in over her head. She is in over her head. All right, let's continue. We got more. We got more. Trump demands California voter ID law ends eyes ending FEMA. Donald Trump on Friday said he wants California to implement voter ID laws before he would approve federal funds to help it recover from massive wildfires there, and said he might eliminate the Federal Emergency Response Agency. I want to see two things in Los Angeles. Voter ID law so that people have a chance to vote. And I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. These are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. Trump has showered. Yeah. There's a lot of these. We're going to be talking about this for. FEMA is not good. Trump announces agency overhaul during visit to North Carolina. Donald Trump also signaled some reforms may be underway to the federal emergency. It's all right. I guess there is no video. President Donald Trump said he plans to overhaul the federal Federal Emergency Management Agency, as North Carolina is still recovering from Hurricane Helene more than 120 days after the storm struck the state. I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of it. Trump told reporters in North Carolina Friday morning, I think, frankly, FEMA is not good. Trump also promised his administration would step in and assist North Carolina to fix the damage quickly, vowing to do a good job for the state. All right, let's continue. We got more. Reality stars sue Los Angeles officials over home that burned down in Palisades. What? Fire.
We can't afford to rebuild our house right now. We don't have the money to do that. And hopefully we will be able to do that, and we will be able to get our kids' house back.
Really just comes in waves, but I just want to go home. I just want to feel my stuff and sit on my couch. I just really want to go home.
Here you are, Billboard charts, 2 million plus on TikTok, talking about new TV projects, like everything you've wanted in your life at the cost of everything you ever had in your life. What is the balance? How do you manage the balance of those emotions?
I think we do it very differently. For me, it's about the balance, right? For me, it's about feeling the feelings and dealing with it at the time and acknowledging it, talking my son through it, and allowing myself to feel that loss, not staying in it, but moving through it and being able to recognize it, and appreciate it, right? Because there's a lot of good coming out of it. So I am hopeful and grateful. And at the end of the day, all I keep thinking is like, we're healthy, we're alive, we have our children, we have a roof we can rent over our heads, we have water, we have the basic things of life that are all that matter. And it really puts all that in perspective. And I'm so thankful for the world and the nation rallying behind us, supporting us, helping us, and lifting up our family in the darkest hour.
The thing with all of this, I don't think these people realize how destructive these policies actually have been. But let's continue. We got more. Yeah. Trump has done a lot of things in his first week. Up to 250,000 children born to illegal immigrants in 2023. Preliminary report. Donald Trump signed an executive order this week reigniting debate around birthright citizenship. The birthright citizenship debate exploded back in the national discourse this week after President Donald Trump signed an executive order banning it. Trump's ban was slated to take effect on February 19th, but a federal judge in Seattle on Thursday temporarily blocked the order. Some experts believe the issue will eventually be settled by the Supreme Court. Should the ban eventually go into force, it will likely impact tens of thousands of children born to parents of illegal immigrants. Uh-oh. The Center for Immigration Studies, a nonprofit research organization that focuses on immigration, said Friday that based on its preliminary findings, there were between 225,000 to 250,000 U.S. births to illegal immigrants in 2023, which accounts for about 7% of total births in the U.S. And they wonder why. They wonder why people are getting so fed up. They wonder why people are fed up. Let's continue. Homan calls Pope's bluff, highlights huge Vatican walls.
They were lying. They were destroying the country, and they were lying. And they went against the oath that they gave. I want to ask one final question. The Pope this week said that it's a disgrace what we're now doing with this new government, deporting all of these people. We've got, obviously there's going to be a lot of media searching for the sad stories here, trying to turn public opinion against this operation. What's your message to the American people as you guys do this work?
Well, let me give a message to the Pope guy. I'm a lifelong Catholic. I was born Catholic. I've been through Catholic doctrine. Look, he ought to concentrate on fixing the Catholic Church, first of all. He's got big problems there. And in the Vatican, they have a wall around the Vatican. If you illegally enter the Vatican, the crime is serious. You'll be charged with a serious crime, be jailed.
Yeah.
So he can protect the Vatican where he lives. He can build a wall where he lives. Where American people are not allowed that? No. Securing the border saves lives. He needs to understand that. We secure the border. When less people come, less women get raped by the cartel. Less children die in the river. Less Americans die from fentanyl overdoses. He ought to stick to it. He ought to stick to the Catholic Church and fix that. That's a mess.
That's exactly right. And we did the details on the wall that's around the Vatican, and it's even nicer than Trump's wall. For as much as Trump likes his wall, the wall around the Vatican is really, really impressive.
Mr. Pope, and you wonder why people are going away from the Catholic religion. You wonder why people are going away from the Catholic religion, because you're a hypocrite. Plain and simple, you're a hypocrite, sir. Hey, how about this? You tear down your wall, and the United States will tear down theirs. Pope Francis, if you tear down the Vatican walls, we will tear down ours. How about that? Thank God I'm not a Catholic. All right, let's continue. We got more. There's a lot of things that I'm covering today. ICE taps other federal agencies to assist apprehension of illegal aliens. Uh-oh. The Department of Homeland Security issued a directive on Wednesday tapping other federal law enforcement agencies to assist in the apprehension of illegal immigrants. The move is essential to carrying out President Donald Trump's promise of a mass deportation. Thanks to the last administration's open border policies, we've seen violent criminals and gang members terrorize American communities, a DHA spokesperson said in a written statement. Today's action empowers law enforcement officials at the DOJ to help identify and apprehend aliens who have illegally came into our country. Wonder why they don't like us now. The thing about it, a lot of them are starting to get mad. Let's continue with the mass deportation raids have begun in Los Angeles. Alien hunting. We know that mass deportations were going to begin right away, and it was likely that some of the targeted cities were going to leak to the press, though it was an open secret as to which urban enclaves would be raided. In Los Angeles, it's already begun with ICE agents and other federal law enforcement officers. The illegals get detained in military planes, export them the heck out of the country. ATF, DEA, and U.S. Marshal Service have begun granting deportation powers. The Trump administration is using a decades-old and until recently never invoked powers that authorizes willing state and local law enforcement officers to carry out any of the powers, privileges, or duties of an immigration officer. Most states will likely sign on to this measure. The deportation force, one the liberals laughably said couldn't be assembled, is mobilized with gusto. Also, the other narrative that we couldn't find these illegals is false. We are nabbing them left and right, and we have 4 years of continuous immigration enforcement to see the rest. They need to come up for air at some point. For now, the illegals in Los Angeles are being rounded up. Wonder why they think we're not going to be able to stop that.
I want to go back to those military flights going south. As you said, we have never seen that before. Is that going to be a constant commitment from the U.S. military every single day to take deportees out?
Yes.
So is this what we will see every single day? Ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported.
Yes. But you're going to see the numbers steadily increase.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to, violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
All right. Because we got more. I'm gonna show you something. Former illegal alien Rhode Island judge resigned hours after FBI raid hit on his office. A judge widely described as the first formerly undocumented judge in Rhode Island has resigned following a raid by the FBI on his law office on Thursday, January 23rd. Central Falls Municipal Court Judge Joseph Molina Flynn was the subject of a raid at his downtown Providence office on Thursday afternoon. Footage shared widely on social media revealed FBI and Homeland Security officers conducting the investigation hours while police cruisers were seen outside. Uh-oh. 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 Let's... FBI and Homeland Security agents have raided the office of well-known immigration attorney. Federal agents seized boxes of files from the office of the Providence lawyer Joseph Molina Flynn. Uh-oh. Hours later, Flynn resigned from his position at Central Falls Municipal Court. He was also removed from the RWU faculty page. It's almost like they were trying... Yeah. Let's continue. Texas governor wants $11.1 billion reimbursement from Biden-era border security. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott wants Congress to reimburse his state for more than $11 billion spent on southern border security under the Biden administration. Abbott on Thursday sent letters to the House and Senate leaders and the entire Texas congressional delegation requesting more than $11.1 billion to account for the state taxpayers' money spent to secure the border when former President Joe Biden refused to do so. I think they need to go after Joe Biden for that money. That's what I think. I wonder why they're changing their tune. Massachusetts governor says she supports Trump crackdown on criminal aliens. Wonder why they're changing their tune. Massachusetts Governor Maura Haley soften her tone on the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigrants, supporting the removal of criminal aliens. When the Democrat governor was asked about recent arrests made by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in the city, she said she wouldn't describe them as raids. What it seems to be, and what we expected, and what I support, which is the apprehension of criminals regardless of their immigration status in our communities, Haley told WCVB.
Good morning, everyone.
Wonder why this is changing now. Wonder why this is changing. Now, let's continue with this. We got a lot of things to talk about. Just the threat of deportations is working. Illegal immigrants are voluntarily deporting themselves at southern border. It makes you wonder, is the only thing they needed was an incentive to go? Donald Trump has been the president for just a week, and already there's an outflow of persons at the southern border. Illegal immigrants are voluntarily deporting themselves, says Glenn Beck. The majority of Americans will be glad of this, adds co-host Stu Bugergear, pointing to recent Axios polling, revealing that 66% of Americans support mass deportations. And it's not the only poll that suggests. Polling from the New York Times, Marquette Law School, CBS, and ABC came up with similar numbers. Almost like these people realize we're not playing around anymore. Let's continue. Trump administration moves to expel Biden's paroled migrants. The acting head of Homeland Security Department reportedly signed a memo that lets Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials quickly deport illegal immigrants who were allowed into the country temporarily under the two Biden administration programs. The two programs, a Customs and Border Protection app and one initiative for migrants fleeing Cuba, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and Haiti, were implemented under former President Joe Biden. The program allowed migrants, around 1.4 million overall since the beginning of 2023, to stay in the U.S. for up to 2 years under a temporary legal status known as parole. The New York Times reported the CBP-1 app, which gave legal entry to nearly 1 million migrants with the overall online asylum appointment, was shut down by the Trump administration a week ago. The thing about it, it's going to happen more and more. This is going to happen more. Let's continue. Oh, they have no idea what's coming. Pro-Hamas foreign students are about to be deported. Within moments of returning to the Oval Office on Monday, a week ago, President Trump got to work signing a flurry of executive orders. One of them is focused on protecting the United States from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. It is the bad news for pro-terrorist visas holders, causing trouble on college campuses by advocating for certain organizations like Hamas. The Secretary of Homeland Security shall take immediate steps to exclude or remove that alien unless she determines that doing so would inhibit a significant pending investigation or prosecution of the alien for a serious criminal offense, or would be contrary to national security interests of the United States, the order states. Trump and the Department of Homeland Security and the State Department focuses on visa reform, specifically for countries hostile to American values, which is made clear in the order. Ilhan Omar says the quiet part out loud. Trump immigration policies threaten criminals. Wonder why. Omar also reintroduces a bill to deprive Trump of the ability to deport suspected enemy aliens. Democratic Rep Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and fellow travelers Senator Maurizi Hirono, Democrat Hawaii, held a press conference Thursday, both to remind Americans that not everything woke in the federal government can be jettisoned through executive order, and to advocate for the termination of President Trump's authority to deport the citizens of an enemy nation. When explaining why Congress shall pass her bill repealing the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which Trump indicted, which would play a role in his crackdown on illegal immigration, Omar apparently identified who would benefit: criminals. Glossing over illegal aliens' de facto violation of U.S. immigration law and evident contempt for American sovereignty, Omar claimed that they will not be kicked out of the country because of anything they have done, but because where they are from. All right, to the people on YouTube, this is your last one, because but people on Rumble, I got more with you, because there's a crap load of things going on right now that, because of me not doing something over the weekend, which I might do at some point in the near future. And for our last one, we're going to get this done. Here's everything Trump did his first week back. From the southern border to the federal bureaucracy, Trump swiftly delivered on a slew of campaign promises. President Donald Trump began his second term this week with an explosion of action, spending his first few days in office going full speed on his agenda and reversing the work of his predecessor. The dizzying march of executive orders, presidential pardons, firings of Biden appointees, calls with foreign leaders, and visits to disaster zones started immediately after the inauguration on Monday, and the benchmark pace did not let up for the rest of the week. On day one, Trump signed he did a lot of things. And if you want to read all of it, I mean, the thing about it, Trump has done a lot of things to help the American people. So, with that being said, to the people on YouTube, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. There will be a video at 7 Eastern. To the people on Rumble, I will be with you here in about 10 seconds.